So Black Ops 6 Zombies has finally released, and I've been playing a whole bunch of it, which I'm super excited to talk about. And I want to answer that question today. Is it as good as everyone is saying it is? I've heard a lot of people saying that Zombies is back, and I've heard a lot of people saying that this is just not for them. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about my experiences, what I think and feel about the mode. But just a heads up quickly, I have not played any of the Easter eggs yet, and that is intentional. Right about the time that the Easter eggs released, which is about 24 hours after the game came out for me here in Australia, I was over at a work conference 400 kilometers away from where my computer is, and so I was not able to join in on the hunt. But me and my buddy, we're going to be streaming it live. No guides, nothing like that, until we get completely lost, which will probably happen a few hours into it. But we'll be doing that over at twitch.tv/Niss Games, 6 p.m. this Friday, Australian Western Standard Time. So if you can make that, it would be awesome to come and have you there. But we're going to talk about the maps. We're going to talk about zombies, only zombies. I'm not really an MP or campaign guy. I enjoy my Call of Duty Zombies. I've been playing for a very long time. I've got thousands and thousands of hours across all the Treyarch games. One quick extra bit of backstory that I thought I'd add in there is I didn't love Cold War Zombies. Out of all the Treyarch Zombies experiences, not including like Vanguard and Modern Warfare and those rubbish things, but out of the actual Zombies experiences, so Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, Cold War, I really didn't love Cold War. I didn't hate it. It's just, it really wasn't for me in terms of like the way that the mechanics came together, the maps, all that kind of stuff. And so I was really surprised to find that I really am enjoying Black Ops 6. So the first dot point I have written down is that the atmosphere is fantastic. In terms of Terminus especially, the atmosphere is really, really good. It feels like there was a zombie apocalypse here. Everything is destroyed, decrepit, it's dark, it's moody. Not that dark means good. We've had some awesome, fantastic maps set in the daytime, but I do think that Terminus especially is so rich in atmosphere. Everything from the zombies to the tentacle boss monster thingy to just the mood and the vibe of the islands, the prison, all of it, it just feels good. Even the facility, it feels really good. It feels really decrepit, destroyed. It feels like the kind of place that would have a zombie outbreak, and I'm here for it. And here's something I wasn't expecting to say. Liberty Falls is actually kind of goated when it comes to the atmosphere department. When I had seen the COD Next footage, when I'd seen a bunch of other footage going around as well, I was really not looking forward to this map. I thought it was just going to be a side map that is, it's not there for anyone except for the MP players who just want to grind out weapons on zombies because it's easy and all that kind of stuff. But no, Liberty Falls actually plays really well, but also it feels really good. I actually feel like I'm in the middle of a fresh zombie outbreak, and it feels good. Everything from the sound design to, I think they've added more things around the map to make it feel a little more decrepit and destroyed, but also just the way that the characters are talking, the way that the interiors of all the buildings are really destroyed and all that, it actually does feel like a zombie outbreak has happened, and I really do enjoy the atmosphere. It feels kind of like hopeful. I don't know how to explain it, but it actually does feel really good. And so all those videos and comments and things from people saying there is no atmosphere, no aura, nothing like that in Liberty Falls, I agreed back when we saw that, but now that I've played it, it actually feels really good. And speaking of other things that feel really good, the next dot point I've got here is that the weapons feel good and balanced, and it's true. I actually am super surprised to find that the weapons do not all just destroy instantly, that the weapons aren't all completely overpowered. I really am not a fan of the loadout system, especially in Cold War, but what they've done here with the ammo economy and with the strength of the weapons makes it actually feel like it's viable to go and get a weapon out the mystery box or to go and buy a weapon off the wall. It's no longer just keep the weapon that you spawn in with and nothing else. You can do that, and that's cool that that's an option, but it's just as viable to go and get a gun out the mystery box because it costs so much to level up the rarity of your weapon and to pack a punch. And so to actually go and buy a weapon out the mystery box is good, and I'm stoked about that. But also, when I'm using a pistol, it feels like I'm using a weaker weapon, and that is a good thing, and I'm stoked about that. Now, the wonder weapons are really, really cool. Specifically the jet gun. I was so shocked in a good way to find how ridiculously powerful the jet gun is. And the fact that it hasn't been nerfed yet, I think is awesome. But the jet gun is absolutely broken, and I love it. I hope they don't fix it. I hope, because Liberty Falls is such a chill and relaxing map, I hope that they don't fix it because it doesn't need to be fixed. And I really do hope that they keep that design philosophy of fun is better than balance when it comes to a PvE zombies experience. Now, the exploration itself, especially on Terminus, feels so good. When I'm playing Terminus and I jump in the boat and I zoom off to all the islands, I feel like I'm going on an adventure. I feel like I'm going to find something that no one has found before. When I get to the boat, I'm like, man, this feels like adventurous. It feels like Indiana Jones. It feels good, and I really love that. But also when I'm playing Liberty Falls, it feels like an inward adventure, if that makes sense. It feels like I'm looking and finding things that no one else has seen before because they haven't looked for it, if that makes sense. It feels like there are secrets in the town that no one has found yet, and I'm actually stoked about that. And now I've got to say, because I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not huge on Cold War. I think that this game is a huge, huge improvement to Cold War. People are saying that it's like a Cold War 1.5 or a Cold War 2. I feel like it's Cold War 3. I really didn't love Cold War, but I'm frothing Black Ops 6 Zombies, and I think because every system that they did bring over from Cold War 4 feels improved in a significant way. It feels like a true sequel. It feels like they took all the things from before and they said, how can we make this way better and way more convenient, while also way more interesting for the players? I really don't love the Wonder Fizz, but the fact that it comes in at round 25 is decent. It makes it better. You still have to learn where Jug is on the map, where a few other perks are, but you can kind of just wait until round 25 to get the rest of your perks. So at least you have to figure out where Jug is, which is kind of better than nothing, right? I just want to say now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, but you like Call of Duty Zombies or just gaming content in general, I do a lot, not just zombies. I like to dive into lots of other things as well, especially with Subnautica 2 coming up. I'm very excited about that. So if you like any of those things, please subscribe to this channel and you'll enjoy it, I promise. The characters in this game as well, that's a huge improvement over what Cold War did. Cold War did not have a set cast, and that was a huge detriment to the storytelling of the game. The story was just like, it just did not hit. The story just almost went over my head just because there was nothing that was telling me to be interested in the storyline, right? I did all the Easter eggs on Cold War. I did them only once because I just had no desire to play them again. And I really do think that having characters that talk, that interact, that actually like are in the environments that they're talking about really does add so much to the atmosphere of the map, and it makes you want to continue and explore and actually do things in the map. And so having that back, at least in Terminus, really does encourage me to go out and explore in the maps. Whereas when I'm playing Liberty Falls and I'm playing as operators, I'm much more inclined to just run around and kind of goof off and just shoot things, because it doesn't feel like there are any stakes when it comes to the storytelling in that particular facet. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure once we're doing the Easter egg, that'll shift a little bit, but when I'm just playing the map, having characters in Terminus definitely makes it feel like there are actually stakes. Now here's my first and my biggest gripe with Black Ops 6 Zombies at the moment, and that is the boss spam once you get past like round 25. I'm pretty sure round 25 is when actually the zombies do get technically harder according to Treyarch, but my goodness, when they said it gets harder, I didn't expect them to just spawn in a million manglers. The manglers are the real issue here. The fact that there could be anywhere from 4 to 8 of them on screen when you're in the higher rounds, and they are just shooting giant waves at you that can curve around to you and they can hit you from anywhere, and if 3 of them hit you, you're basically dead. Like, it's a wild system for them to be that many of them running around, and I know they're pretty easily dodgeable, but they really like take you out of your train and they make you work around them, which is totally fine if there's 1 of them around or 1 or 2 of them around, but when there's 8 of them on screen at once, it is absolutely wild, and I'm definitely not a fan of that. I much prefer the Abomination, and I don't actually know what the boss is called in Terminus, but those 2 bosses, just because of how infrequently they spawn, I'm much more inclined to enjoy them than I am the manglers and the mangler spam. Now, the customization in this game is really good. I think there's a little bit of room for improvement, especially with the augment system, but in terms of the camo grind, I'm loving it. I've already got 2 guns gold. I'm starting with pistols, so I've got 2 pistols gold, which is super fun. Also, just the augments are really cool. Again, there's some room for improvement there just with how it's unlocked, and the XP system and all that is a little bit foggy. The prestiging is fantastic. The level up rewards seem good. The gobblegum system is way better, even better than Black Ops 3. The fact that you're earning them so passively and so many of them, and I'm much more enjoying this gobblegum system over elixirs from Black Ops 4, which was just terrible, and Black Ops 3, which was good but needed some improvement. This gobblegum system seems way better, and I'm saving all my gobblegums up. I'm not really using them, so I'm yet to comment on how overpowered they are, because I'm not really using them. I'm going to use them for Easter egg runs, of course, so I'll kind of clue you in on that once I know, when I follow up with those future videos on both maps individually and their Easter eggs and the whole experience there. But for now, I'm loving the customization and the progression. It seems really good. It's very grindy, which for me is a good thing, because I want to put lots of time and lots of hours into this game, and the more grindy it is, the better for that, I guess. It depends on who you are. That might be a negative for you, but for me, that's a positive. But the augment system is the only one I'm kind of iffy on at the moment. I really have to wait and see until I've unlocked a lot more and how game-changing and actually good they are, but it seems like build crafting could be a thing, potentially, especially with future releases and new perks and stuff coming in. Build crafting could be a great part of it with the augment system, but we'll have to see how it pans out in the future. A weird little nitpick that I have is the field of view on PC. For console, this might not really be an issue, but I'm pretty sure field of view is a thing on console now, but I play on PC for the majority, and the field of view just seems kind of weird. There's 2 settings for it instead of 1. There's field of view, which I cranked straight up to 120, and then there's like weapon field of view, which I set to the max so that the weapon is as small as possible, but it still does feel way too big on my screen and like it's taking up a lot of space. I much prefer how older games did it with just 1 field of view slider, and it makes the weapon nice and small. Hopefully they change that in the future, or they do something to make it look a little bit less intrusive on my screen, but it's a nitpick. It's not a big deal, so we'll continue for now. I just wanted to add as well, the story for the game seems really front and center. We're talking zombies, of course. The story seems like it's actually going to be impactful this time around. Richtofen is back, which I'm stoked about. I'm definitely not one of those people that's like, you have to bring back the old crew and just bring back the ether or anything like that. Like, obviously, I loved Black Ops 3 Zombies. With this new story, I was not invested in it in Cold War at all, but that's just because I think the storytelling in that game was not very good. But I think already they're leagues ahead of that now with good cutscenes, good quality, the dialogue of the characters, all that good stuff. So I think the story has real potential this time, and I'm very keen to get invested into it if they will take me on that journey. So it's up to them. The ball is in their court. We'll see how these Easter eggs pan out, how the cutscenes go, and if they go ahead and get me invested, but I hope they do. And finally, like I mentioned before, I'm going to revisit both maps individually this weekend once we have beaten the Easter eggs, which I'm super excited about, and played a bunch of side stuff and all that good stuff. It's twitch.tv/NissGames. Go give us a follow. I stream multiple times a week, as often as I can. I still work a basically full-time job, and so I'm very busy, but I stream as often as I can. But hey, if you enjoyed this content, if you want to know more about my thoughts and feelings on Call of Duty Zombies or on other games in general, I've got a lot of videos on the channel already. Been doing this for about a year now. We are just over 700 subscribers now, so if we can get ourselves to 1,000 over the next little while, that would be fantastic. That would be an awesome milestone for me. I'd be super excited about it. And hey, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.